Hello, everybody, and welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. As always, we have a terrific show planned for you. In the second hour of the show, we're going to have the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer.
Until showtime.
Dick DiBartolo is going to be here with us. He'll be joining us in hour two. He's got some of the craziest stuff, and we always enjoy having him in here on the last Wednesday of every month. And also in the first hour, Intronis is back with us. We're going to be talking about backing up, archiving, all the things that you should be doing that you may not be doing, and see what's new at Intronis since they were here with us last time, which was a couple of months ago. So sit back, relax, enjoy the Computer America Show as we begin 2 hours of Computer America. Stand by. Ten seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome to the show. Got a great program planned for you tonight. In the second hour of the show, we're going to have the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. Dick DiBartolo will be here with some of the coolest things that he finds on the internet. I mean, it just got to, one of the things I'm really thrilled about is one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight is an invisible speaker. That's right. It's actually an invisible speaker. Yeah, it's just he finds some of the coolest things, and also you can now own your own drone with 4K camera ability. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Zoomies. He's got some really, really clever things that he finds. I don't know where he finds them, but they kind of come to him.
Well, he also goes to a lot of those conventions because all the time he'll go out to like the home hardware conventions where they show off like the new drills and stuff like that. He goes to he just went to one in Orlando for pets.
Yes.
So he actually goes. So it's not just all around the internet. He actually goes out to conventions and does coverage of those conventions.
Yes, he does. Of course, he's going to talk about some of the latest Star Wars memorabilia in anticipation of the movie. Now we've all seen skateboards and we've all seen motorized skateboards, but he's going to talk about a skateboard that has only one wheel. One wheel. That's it. And it's motorized with one wheel. This is very, very cool technology. It's got a lot of really neat features. We're going to be talking to him about all this stuff in the second hour. It's going to be a fun show. But in this first hour, we're going to talk about backup and data protection. Really, that's what it's all about. So anything else you want to mention before we can bring our guest on, Ben?
Anything else I want to mention? No, nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, good. Well, that says it all. By the way, if you have a comment or a question for a guest, you can give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. That'll get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at ComputerAmerica.com. It's a special email inbox we have set up when we're live and on the air. So in case you have a question for us but you don't want to go on the air, that's a great way to communicate with us. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room. We have that going only when we're live and on the air. Just go to the homepage at ComputerAmerica.com. Look for Interact with the Show. It's on the right-hand side of this homepage. Click the chat/live video page. You'll get a split screen. On the left-hand side there is the entry form to go into the chat room. Make up a username. That's a name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the connect button, and you're in there. It's just that simple. A lot of people are in there right now, and I'm sure they'd love to see you when they're enjoying in on the fun and frolic that always tends to go on in the Computer America chat room. And also, sharing that same page on the right-hand side is a live Computer America video stream. That's right. Not only are we a radio talk show, but you can also watch the Computer America program. The video will start up automatically. The streaming video will start up automatically, and you will join the show in progress. It is virtually simultaneous to the radio broadcast, so you can see everything, you can as well as hear everything. The cool thing about it is we've been adding improvements. When you watch Ben now, you'll be able to see the websites that we're talking about, products. We've got it all worked out, so you can see Ben, but you can see everything going on in the background. It's a really cool technology.
We could have done the screen share a long time ago, but we couldn't lose seeing my pretty face. So we had to figure out a solution that kept me in the picture, literally, and show the website. So we've done that.
Yes, we have. Okay, technology is an amazing thing. All right. Well, we welcome you to join all the things, the phone calls, but right now our guest is with a company called Intronis. He was here, as I said, a number of months ago. But Intronis is a company that's changing the game when it comes to data protection. They build data protection solutions exclusively for the IT channel, selling only to IT service providers and never direct to small business end users. They developed the Intronis Echo platform, the first software platform designed to deliver complete protection for physical and virtual data in one location for a fixed price with unlimited storage. Here with more details on this and what's new at Intronis since the last time he appeared here is Aaron Dunn. Aaron is Intronis' Chief Marketing Officer. Aaron, welcome back into Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Craig. Thanks so much for having me.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of things are changing at Intronis, but and I gave an overview. But why don't you? I would think it's best for the guest to talk a little bit about the company that he or she is representing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Intronis itself?
Sure. Yeah. It's been a great time. We've had a lot of fun since we last were on. I guess it was late last year or the fall of last year. But so Intronis, for those of you who don't know, is a company that's focused on providing data protection software solutions for small businesses. We service about 50,000 small businesses around the U.S. Companies who are using our software to back up critical files, protect their systems. So in the event of a fire or some sort of a hard drive failure, they can get their data back. Somewhat uniquely, we sell exclusively through the IT service provider channel. So small businesses often have providers who will provide all of their technology for them, and we sell through these folks. So these IT providers, service providers, will provision your network and your email and your laptops, and they'll also provide you with data protection solutions. And oftentimes they're providing ours.
Wow. Okay. So so obviously you haven't just resting on your laurels. There's some new things that's going on with Intronis, and since we last spoke. So what is new? What's going on?
Wow, it's been an exciting time. We had one of our best years ever last year, which is always great. Thank you. We since we last spoke, we've done a couple things. One is we launched a product that's focused on what's known commonly as file sync and share for small businesses. So if you want to share files between multiple people on a particular team and keep them in sync. So I'm working on a file, Craig, you're working on a file. Ben, you're working on a file. We want to all sort of collaborate on that file together. Or as more often happens, I have a laptop, I have a phone, and I have an iPad, and I want to be able to sync up and have the same version of a file on all of those devices. And we now provide you the capability to do that. Again, through our IT providers, they're able to provision that for small businesses. So that was a pretty exciting development. Whenever you launch your second product, it's a big moment for a business such as ours. So that was a big milestone. We also have been doing a lot of work to make it easier for our partners to sell our products to their small businesses. So we've developed a whole number of tools and resources for them to use in their sales and marketing efforts, as they go out and really help them scale their business. All those things together, as I said, it really wound up being a great year, and we're off to a great start this year.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that things are working out so well for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think what Craig meant to say was us too.
Funny.
Exactly. Now, if you're watching our show, you can see Ben. He's actually in front of the Intronis website, and you have a lot of different things up there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing there on
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is our homepage of our website, and of course, for folks who are selling IT services, it's very simple to jump on our website and start a trial. But also, as you're scrolling through here, you'll see different some of the things that we've launched in the last year that are pretty technical, but this is an example here around this MSP business plan. So we work with a lot of IT service providers, MSPs, and one of the things that's a key opportunity for them is finding ways to grow their business, and we try to help them do that with our content. So we just launched about a month ago these tools that you can actually do your own business planning process. It's a template and it's an ebook designed to really help folks plan their business better.
And I think I said this to you before. We here at Computer America are extremely strong advocates of making backups, and I was so surprised. Well, I wasn't super surprised, although when I heard the number that was thrown out there, why people don't back up. I heard a number like less than 4% of the people with computers make some sort of backup, and when they're asked. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's not if your hard drive will fail; it's when it's going to fail. I mean, and yet people won't do it, and I'll hear things. Oh, well, it's too complicated or it's too technical. What are some things that you're hearing that reasons that people give why they don't back up their computers?
Yeah, I think there's different layers of backup, of course. When you're talking about, a personal, our personal laptops, devices that we're using, it's a layer of complexity. I'll be 100% honest, and I probably shouldn't reveal this, but my personal Mac that's sitting up on my desk in my office, isn't currently plugged into Time Machine, so that's probably a bad thing. So I think it's that time element. It can be a little daunting, and if you don't have the device, the cloud sounds like this sort of weird thing that that I'm supposed to use, but I don't know really how to use. So that's definitely one thing. I think as you get more sophisticated, as you start talking to small businesses, there is a layer of complexity that that goes along with that. In fact, a small business might think it's perfectly fine. Hey, I've got a hard drive, an external hard drive. I'll just plug it into my main laptop and back everything up, and that's going to be good enough until there's a problem. And they're faced with a fire or a catastrophic server failure, and they're trying to restore and come back. That can feel very complex for folks, and they're maybe not as versed in all the various technologies that are available to them. And that's why we really advocate, particularly for small businesses, to work with an IT service provider to help design the right system for you and make sure it's set up and running. Because if you're not backed up, you have you really can't restore.
Yeah, no, it's really, you're in a world of hurt. And
very much so, yeah. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, think about it. Who our listeners, whoever you are, I mean, whether you're in business or just personally, whatever. Imagine, one day you come over to your computer, you turn it on, and it doesn't, and your hard drive fails. All of your pictures, not your applications, because obviously you have the originals are backed up. You have the original installation disks. You have that probably, but all of your hard work that you created using those applications, or your digital photos or music, all that stuff gone in a flash. What would you do? I mean, how would you handle that? So it's
And a lot of people, they take their hard drives, that crash, they take it with water damage, take it with fire damage, and they send it off somewhere that, really, at the end of the day, has a slim to almost zero chance of actually getting the data back.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're going to pay a lot of money.
Pay a lot of money to not even get guaranteed results that you might get it back. Like they look at you, say, "Did you make a backup?" And then that's the first question they ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Apple's done a great job with this, but even with the iCloud and the simplicity that they've made it on their devices, but it's still they got a long way to go.
Yeah. So with World Backup Day celebrated last month, because it was World, which was the 31st of March, what's Intronis doing to help encourage best practices for data backup?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, World Backup Day is a real thing. When I first heard about it, I was like, no way, it can't be a real thing. But no, it's every year it gets a little bit stronger, but it's the industry's attempt to really hit at that point. Craig, that you mentioned that people just aren't familiar with why or how and how simple it is to back up. So I suppose somewhere tongue in cheek, the fact that it's the 31st, the day before April Fools, lends to a whole bunch of great jokes. But it's really meant to be an opportunity to focus on the issues of backing up and create awareness around the issue. Last year at this time, we launched a series of gremlins.
Yeah.
You can find them on our website somewhere. If Ben is on the fly, he can go to intronis.com/gremlins, and I hope that works. That's what it was. It's always risky to do these things on the fly, but we created 6 little characters, and they're meant to personify sort of the key ways that you can lose your data. So, for example, one of them is a virus gremlin. And this little gremlin, has you can catch a cold having this gremlin. We also have here we go, perfect. Once it comes into focus here, we've got
we have Scratch, Mayhem, Whoopsie Daisy, Mal, Scorch, and Klepto.
Yeah. So these are the kind of the 6 ways that you can lose your that we think the most obvious ways you can lose your data. Obviously, your hard disk can fry. Someone could steal it. You might have some natural disaster of some sort. Someone might steal it. Etc. So our most favorite, by the way, in the office, we had a contest to name these, and the one that we like the most is Whoopsie Daisy. She's super cute, and that's when you accidentally delete the file.
Yeah,
that happens. More than you can think of, more than you can imagine. So, these are just a way to personify and make the issues of how easy it is to lose your data in a sort of a fun way. We created playing cards around these, so each one has favorite movies and and favorite quotes and whatnot. So we've had a lot of fun with it, and it's really, as I said, meant to give people a little laugh as they think about the issues of data. So this is one of the things that we do, and with this comes a whole bunch of tools and resources that we've prepared for folks. We've created this thing you can see here on the right, a gremlin defense kit that has a whole a number of tools and resources for our partners to use. We created a white paper around the 16 things that the gremlins hate. We created a comic strip around a real life situation of someone losing their data. We had a quiz, which gremlin are you, kind of quiz. So we try to have some fun with it and make it real, because it sounds silly, and almost a little trite to say that it's really about awareness. But at the end of the day, you got to know the different things that you can be faced, and how easy it is to get whacked with one of these gremlins.
Yeah, I can see that. And not only that, you also had something called the Backup and Recovery Love Song.
Yeah, it was that was a lot of fun, and one of the things you learn about us is we don't take ourselves too seriously, and I think that makes it makes these issues real. A couple of folks on my team, Miguel, Leonor, and Gary Dumas came to me one day and said, "Hey, we've got an idea for writing a song. In fact, we've already wrote it and we've already banged it out on GarageBand. What do you think?" And it's pretty crazy how good it is. They wrote it, they sang it themselves, they produced it themselves, they did all the instruments themselves.
We're going to play a little bit while you're talking there. Intronis is always there. Now, there's a video, and actually you can see a little bit while I'm playing it. Oh, Ben is actually showing it there.
Yeah, he's showing it right there.
Yeah.
These are all Intronis people.
Yeah.
Can't really hear the audio. It's fading in now. But,
yeah, it's a little quiet.
I can pick it up.
Because your current provider says your data's gone away. Oh! I know what you want from me. It's my backup and recovery. Nothing else I'd rather see than the protection of your S&D. I know what you want from me. It's my backup and nothing else I'd rather see than the protection of your S&B. Disaster can strike in a moment's time.
Well, this is really interesting. They actually did the whole video this way, which is...
Yeah, actually, if you keep watching the video for a second, you'll see a disaster that's straight out of the movies.
Right. We'll do it.
Oh, we spilled some wine right on the computer. In the background notes, you'll know that he didn't intend to do that. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
My heart is so strong.
I've had it happen to friends where I think the silliest one I can remember was she had her laptop up on the bathroom counter, like she was listening to music and carrying it around with her, and she set it on her counter and she was brushing her teeth, and she knocked her computer into her sink with the faucet running. Like I was confused how that even happened, but I mean the weirdest things happen to people's computers.
Wow.
That is true. Well, anyway, this isn't going to win. This isn't going to win any. Well, I don't.
Grammys or Emmys?
Yeah. Well, not the Emmys, but VMAs. It's not going to win a VMA, but from a self-produced effort, I mean.
Hey, a valiant attempt. I mean, really. I mean, that's good. And you know what? It brings public awareness.
And more than I've seen of any other backup service out there. I've not seen their music videos, but this is the one and the best.
Thank you very much. Well, that's Gary and Miguel right there in the frame. Miguel playing the role of the preacher at his church, and Gary acting well. Miguel is the one who's doing the singing, and he's really fantastic. We're lucky to have them both, and they did a great job with it. And, is that. For me, I just sort of sat back. As soon as they came to me with the idea, I said, you know what, guys, I'm not going to say a word except great job and keep going, because as soon as I try to add anything to this, I'm going to screw it up.
So 9 months later, they had an iPad, I think.
They had an iPad, yes. That's right. Mazel tov.
I love it.
Right. We've had some fun with it. It's actually the hold music at when you call our office now as well. So.
Oh, okay. You see, it has more than one use. All right.
That's right. That's right.
So there you go. All right. So again, Ben and I are talking to Aaron Dunn, Intronis' Chief Marketing Officer, and we're discussing. Last month was World Backup Day, and what Intronis did to help encourage best practices for data backup. And they thought they would take kind of a novel approach, talking about data loss gremlins. They had a campaign, and the backup and recovery love song. Which you got to listen to. And of course, you can watch the whole thing yourself. Just go to computeramerica.com, click on our show notes. On the show notes button, and you'll see everything that you're seeing today. We have links to the Intronis website, and you can watch all this. It's actually quite fun. And you wouldn't think, because obviously we're talking about data protection and data disaster recovery, and although it is a serious topic, it's nice to have a little fun, or at least draw a good way to draw people's attention to the problem. And so if someone would ask you, why should small businesses care about data protection, what would you say, Aaron?
Well, it's the lifeblood of their business. I think what we're seeing now with the explosion of all the different ways that you can manage your business and the different things you can do with your business and your customers and your customer data, data is actually the critical, almost the it's almost the heartbeat of the company in ways that were just not even thinkable just a few years ago. So we talk a lot about when you think about protecting your business, you don't start a business without getting fire protection, if you will, or liability protection to make sure that you can't get sued, or if you do get sued, you're protected. But you've got to apply that same level of rigor to your data. There are a number of stats out there about how fast, unfortunately, small businesses will go out of business if they have some sort of a data breach, because it's so critical. You can think about payroll. If they lose their payroll information, or if they have a credit card breach, they lose people lose trust in the business, or they have a fire, unfortunately, and aren't able to get their payroll and their customer data back online. It's actually shocking how fast a small business can go under, because very often they're so razor thin anyway. So, we believe in the criticality of this as they think about staying a viable business. And we like to say around the company, no small business should go out of business because of a data loss, and it happens far too often.
Right, and as you say, far too often. And so, tell us a little bit more why is the act of backing up data becoming increasingly important for businesses really of all sizes?
Yeah, there's a number of different things, and they're really personified, in the gremlins. But the ones that we all know about. Okay, the fire. Okay, I get that. I understand what a fire is. I understand what a natural disaster is. But what we've really seen explode over the last 2 or 3 years is the a new class of virus or malware, if you will, or that's commonly referred to as ransomware. So, historically, the hackers of the world, would go off and try to hack the credit card files, or or I guess in the case of Sony, the email of very large companies, because the economics were such that if you one big data breach in Home Depot, as was popular, was a very large story, a number of years back, you would get lots and lots of credit cards data, which you could do. You can sell those credit cards, you can sell the data, you can charge, those kinds of things. But that's a lot of work, right? I mean, Home Depot and other, Fortune 1000, companies spend a lot of money protecting their systems. So it's a big payoff for the underworld, but it's a lot of work. What we've seen in the last couple of years is this notion of ransomware, and Bitcoin as a technology for currency really made the economics of this just flip on its ear. Now, I can deploy a piece of ransomware. There's been a number of them over the last 2 years. Crypto Locker was one of the first, where it gets into your network, it encrypts all of your data, and then sends you a ransom note and says you can have your data back for $500, payable in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, $500 doesn't sound like a lot, but there's 30 million small businesses in the country. So the math and the economics, and by the way, these small businesses are just not protected at the same level as a Fortune 1000 retailer. So it's much simpler. The programs are far less sophisticated. They can be deployed much easier. And as if you're a small business and you're faced with not getting your data and being worried about running out of business, you're more apt to pay the $500 than call the police.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an amazing trend, and one that's only increasing.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee with that extortion that they're going to get their data back, is there? I mean, are there any statistics on that?
I don't have a statistic at my fingertips, but by and large the stories are because it's all algorithmic. You sort of, once you make the payment, it unlocks the code. So it's not like you're actually, there's not somebody on the other end saying, oh, thanks, I've got your money, now let me push the button.
Got it.
It's sort of like, okay, the money hits an account automatically, okay, signal to release. So I think the recapture rate's pretty good. For sure.
So
but in a situation like that, though, how does backup fix it? Like do you just kind of wipe all your computers clean and then back them up from a service like yours, and then you start all over again? Like how does backing up help with a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, of course, is backup doesn't prevent it. Preventing it is, is good user hygiene. Making sure you don't click on that link, to an email that from somebody you don't know. And they're getting very good. I got an email just yesterday that looked like it was to my boss and was from a legitimate company, and I was like, I don't think I want to open this. That's the sort of prevention side of things. But on the recovery side of things, once you're faced with this situation where your data is being held hostage, if you have a strong backups in place, then it's exactly what you do. You wipe everything clean. You go back to the date that you have before you got infected, and you restore from that day. And you're back up and running. So if it happened relatively quickly, you roll back to yesterday, and you're fine. If you haven't backed up, then you're not fine.
Really? Now, I guess it's the your IT the person in charge of your who's doing all this. How do you know for sure which day to back up to back up to? I guess if you try yesterday, it's still gone. Try the day before, keep going back until everything seems to be clear. I guess that's what you would do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Aaron, we're at the bottom of the hour, and we'll continue on with this, all right? We're going to take a little.
Sounds good.
You listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, on the TuneIn Radio Network. Ben and I are talking to
Aaron
and Don with Intronis. We'll be right back. We got a news sys bulletin from Marty Winston as well. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Okay, here comes the good part. This is Marty Winston with a news tips bulletin review for Computer America, this time the First Alert One-Link Wi-Fi thermostat. It starts with a digital thermostat that can be configured for almost any home's heating and cooling equipment. Next step, set up 4 day-part schedules for each day of the week. Set your desired temperature and how much leeway you want to allow before heating or cooling kicks in. That's just the starting point for the First Alert One-Link Wi-Fi thermostat. The screen is interactive. and can show day, date, and your pick of favorite photos. You can set away or vacation schedules. You can look at its past week runtimes. You still haven't used Wi-Fi, so let's go there. One choice is to configure it just to download your local forecast, which displays at the top of the screen as a temperature with a trend arrow and a probability of a precipitation with an outcome icon. You can also use their cloud service to read and control your thermostat remotely through any of several companion apps. We recommend against that, but we're not your mommy, so you choose. Bottom line, the First Alert One-Link Wi-Fi thermostat hides a very nimble control system behind a very pretty face. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, 33 minutes past the hour, that was Marty Winston with a News Tip Bulletin Review. Yeah, we're talking to Aaron Dunn from Intronis, and we're just getting into data backup, and we were just kind of diving into what happens when let's face it, your data gets compromised somehow. And Craig just said that you kind of have to go back to your IT person, and I know that your service is primarily pushed by people who are in the industry, by your IT person. Like, you kind of go directly to the source, to the people who have to apply this to their businesses, and you guys obviously have a very good reputation. If you can, it's not like you're trying to sway people who don't know what's going on. The fact that you are highly recommended by IT professionals is saying a lot in itself. But what happens when someone maybe not doesn't have access to an IT person, like you said, small business? Sometimes small business, your IT personnel is also your is also your CEO. Like, one or two people in a company might be doing it. Does Intronis kind of have like a walkthrough about how to, not really the setup, because I'm sure the setup is explained pretty easily, but in recovery efforts?
Yeah, we have a number of assets, content, white papers, ebooks, things like that, that we make available to folks, that really provide, at the highest level, best practices around how to back up, what you should back up, the notion of what should be sort of local backup versus cloud backup, and then also, kind of going through a restore situation. I think that whether or not you have access to an IT resource, and we think you should, you definitely you need to take this very seriously. So making sure it's not enough to just be able to if you're a small business, it's not enough to back up to a USB drive. You need to be thinking about that restore process, because if you're backing up piecemeal files and folders, and as Craig mentioned earlier, yes, you've got the applications on the original source disks, but if you don't have a full image of that laptop or server, restore is going to take days, not minutes, as it would if you'd done the imaging. So it can be very complex, and there's degrees to which you can access IT providers. There's consultants who will help you just sort of set it up and then they'll go away. There's some project work that can be done, all the way through a full managed service where you're paying kind of a monthly fee for services.
And Intronis handles that? I mean, you do that, like a monthly fee for managed service?
Yes. In our case, we work with the people you're paying the monthly fee to. That's how our business model works. But certainly there are other companies who would do that for you directly.
So when I'm a business owner and I want to contact an IT person, how do I know? Do I say to them, well, what are you using, or I want you to use Intronis, or I mean, where is the selection process? From the business owner to you. How does that work?
It's there's a lot of different ways to do it. Certainly we love it if you asked for us by name. That's the sort of pharmaceutical the model. It's a very expensive model, so we don't do a lot of that ourselves. We encourage the discussion point between a small business and their IT service provider is to make sure that they're using best practices in the industry and a trusted vendor. We'd love it to be Intronis, but we understand that there are other people out there that do this as well.
Well, let me ask you that. I mean, how many? There are a lot of them. I mean, how many people are competing against you, or does an Intronis offer something, let's say, that you might not find, with others? Why would an IT professional come to you and use your service? Let me ask you that.
We have no competitors, Craig. I mean, come on. Kidding, of course. There are a number of providers in the marketplace. Of course, it is a competitive marketplace. Some companies have been around for a very long time and have reached a certain size. Other companies, such as ourselves, are newer, but have been built up a very large following. And really, our partners choose to work with us, for a couple of key reasons. One of which is we, because of the way and the focus of our business is on helping the IT service provider. We have a very sophisticated management portal that these folks can go in and they can use. They can manage all of their small business backup requirements from this one portal. There are a number of different kinds of backup and flavors of backup that you can do, from what's commonly referred to as file and folder, being able to back up individual files or folders on your laptops or servers, to full image, being able to take an entire image of your laptop or of the server.
Well, I'm looking at what Ben is showing right now, and I love the comparison charts.
Do you?
And I'm saying, for example, when you go to the top there, I see you made it too small now, but I see Mozy, and I see Dotto and VM.
Dotto, VM, yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I see on your column, Intronis, all the different features. You have a check mark. They're checked.
Nice how that worked out that way.
Yeah, the other ones. So why don't you talk a little bit about this feature chart that you're looking, which is comparing to some of the other services out there?
Sure. So these are the different kinds of things that service providers are looking for in when they're choosing a provider, a technology provider. Some of these are pretty technical, so I'm not going to go into the too many details, but these are the things that our partners tell us are important. So the ability to back up, for example, Microsoft Exchange, support for virtual images, from VMware or Hyper-V, Microsoft's Hyper-V. HIPAA is a big healthcare standard for anybody who is working in the healthcare field. There's a lot of regulations, particularly as it relates to personal information and how you store personal information, and so we spend a lot of time making sure that we are providing a HIPAA compliant solution to our providers, so that when they're working with a dentist's office or they're working with a physician's office, they can sign off on the agreements that say, yes, we're protecting your data, yes, it's encrypted, and no, it's we're not going to. Your data is not going to fall into the wrong hands as a result. So there's a lot of these things. These are our 20. There's probably more, but these are sort of the key things that service providers look for in their partners.
Okay, so what would you say is the key takeaway or best practice for small businesses to take action on to help ensure the safety of their data? What would you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing is to take it seriously and make sure that you have a backup strategy. I think that too often small businesses get hung up on the cost. Depending on how big a business you are, I mean, paying $50, $100, $200, $500 a month to back up your data may sound like a lot of money, and so it's our job to really explain the value equation around that cost versus why it's so important, and too often we have seen that small businesses just sort of make a Sophie's choice, like, well, I can only afford to spend $100, so how much backup does that get me? And we've done a lot of things in our business in terms of how we price our products to make it to take that off the table and say, look, let's come up with a good backup strategy to make sure that if you had a disaster of some sort, or you got hit with ransomware, you'd be able to, your business wouldn't miss a beat. And let's come at it from that perspective. So Yes, these things can be, they do cost money. They're not free, unfortunately, but you have to sort of balance that against the cost of what would happen if you had had some sort of a failure. And unfortunately, there's lots of stories in that area. And you've got to take action. You need to have a strategy. So too often it's very reactive. Oh, I lost a laptop. Shoot, I better get my backup strategy in place. Or the hurricane is bearing down. It's going to be here in 3 days. Well, what am I going to do if I lose my location for a week because I got flooded out? Taking action, having a plan in place that you are working towards. So in case of some sort of disaster, you can continue to run your business. As an example, unfortunately, we had one of our partners, customers, a very historic yacht club up here in Massachusetts, where we're based, had a very, very large fire, right at the height of their busy season. And while the building was a total loss, they were able to stand up a server and run payroll 2 days later. So the business was able to keep going, even though, unfortunately for them, the building was almost a total loss.
Because their IT professional decided to use the Intronis as their service, backup service.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I know a lot of our consumers are in the small business arena, and some of them larger, but also a great deal of our listeners are consumers, with just that are not running businesses.
Sure.
And I know there are a lot of consumer services out there. I think you make, that do backup, but they're aimed more at the individual or the consumer. Have you ever had any thoughts about approaching or making something for that type of person, or are you strictly going to stay in the area that you're now? I'm just out of curiosity.
Yeah, we intend to stay where we are. There's lots of there are some very good products out there. It's a cost business in that in a scale business. So for us, given the size and scale of the business we are, I think we're going to stay where we are. But the message remains.
Yeah.
Back up.
No, and it's certainly important, obviously. And again, you mentioned some of the different plans that you have. I think you have unlimited storage. Tell us a little bit about the plans that you offer.
Sure. Yeah, we made some changes last year to make it far simpler to procure our products. We used to sell our products based on a gigabyte of storage.
Right.
So you could buy 500 gigs or a terabyte of storage from us and then redeploy that. That was very difficult. Was becoming very difficult. As over the years, storage was increasing. Small businesses could only afford to do so much. And as I mentioned, they were sort of being faced with this Sophie's choice around what I should back up. So we did away with that. We moved to a fixed price model where we offer our products to the IT service provider for a fixed price, and then they in turn resell based on their margin model to the small business. And we have 3 basic plans. We have the basic plan, we have the premium plan, and the unlimited plan that have varying degrees of how much storage you might need.
Well, now,
yeah,
how does an IT professional, let's say he subscribes to your service, is that based upon a per business model, or does basically he has your service and then he can sell to as many businesses as he wants and just has the one subscription to you? How does that work?
Well, yeah, no, this is per small business.
Okay, so that
for him if it was the other way.
He does one thing and then he can go to 10, 15, 20 businesses and he just has the one. So he has to. There are mechanisms in place that he has to.
I guess it's like a partnership program then.
Oh yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
and yes, there are mechanisms in place. So obviously, every partner has a number of small business accounts, and those are obviously registered in our system, and then they choose the right plan based on that business. I mean, there are very small businesses who have very small amounts of data. They don't need multi terabytes of storage.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't necessarily need to pay for that. So we make it very cost effective, and we make it as simple as possible for them. That's one of our big things, is to make it very simple for our partners to run their business. They're small businesses themselves often, so our job is to make it super easy for them to get out and really service the needs of their customers.
And you stick primarily with small businesses, or what about large companies or enterprises that might need petabytes of data?
Yeah, our niche is in the small business side, small to medium-sized business. Enterprise, is a whole different challenge. You mentioned the consumer side. Well, on the enterprise, it's a whole different deal. I don't know about petabytes, but probably in many organizations, they probably do.
Okay, so.
So what you're saying is you won't back up all these hidden government agency programs that are recording everyone's phone calls. You're not going to do that.
They have the what do they call that? The dark internet, the dark web.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're going to kind of stay toward the light here, I think. Listen, we're almost out of time, but let me just ask you. Why don't you talk a little bit if you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with our audience on what it is that you do and the service that you provide?
Yeah, well, I mean, not surprisingly, my final thought is take this seriously. There is it's too easy to it won't happen to me, and this isn't a problem that I'm going to have to deal with, or it'll be a small problem if it comes and happens to me. And unfortunately, we could spend the next hour instead of talking about gadgets, we could be talking about all the different ways that things can go wrong. So we spend an inordinate amount of time doing things like the Gremlins to really help educate people and really bring to life this issue of data loss. It happens to be our business, but we know, we've seen the stories, we've lived it, and it's really important that folks take this seriously, because it's the real deal. And if you do get hit with ransomware, as an example, you're going to be writing a check, or you're going to be trying to find something else to do if you haven't backed it up appropriately. So get started today. Don't wait till tomorrow.
No, it makes perfect sense. Can you give us just an idea of what some of the costs are involved? Yeah, I know you said you had 3 plans. What IP professors are looking at?
Yeah, I mean, it really does range. So it's kind of hard to put a firm number on it, because it's really specific to each of our businesses, but each of our partners in their businesses. But per account, the order of magnitude could range anywhere from $30, potentially on the low end, to several hundred, per account on the high end. So it really does vary.
All right. And the difference between the $30 account and the several $100 account per month, what would you say is the main?
Is that like the amount of data that you're storing and backing up, or is it just different services you're offering?
It's actually really the amount of data. We get when you sign up for one of our licenses, you get all of our technology. So it's really about picking the right plan to match the data needs of that small business. And again, sort of getting yourself out of this decision about what to back up. It's more about what's the data protection strategy that's most appropriate for that business.
And what would you again, the judgment here. Let's say an IT professional comes to you and says, "Okay, I want to get your unlimited plan," and it turns out that the unlimited plan is for a company that's going way beyond. I mean, where do you draw the line? Yes, how do you know? You say, "Okay, well, you're really big for us," or "You're too small for us." I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are certain types of business that are most appropriate for our for our services, and in those conversations with our sales team, we can really help guide and provide guidance on what makes the most sense. Certainly we've had folks who come to us and said, I've got a petabyte data store that we want to back up, and it's not we're not commonly referred to. I mean, we're not cold storage. We're really about about restoring that data, and so in some situations, we just may not be appropriate for you.
Typical restaurants, retail stores? Give me some of the ideas, some of the businesses that would that you're looking.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with restaurants, law firms, dental offices, physicians' offices, car dealerships, vet hospitals, lumber yards, yacht clubs. I mean, it's
okay.
Drive down Main Street
in that
in
fashion.
America. Yeah, drive down Main Street in America, look left and right, and those are our customers.
All right, I understand. And that's really a great overview of what it is that you do at Intronis, and
Thank you.
we encourage our listeners to check them out. Go to our website at computeramerica.com on our show notes page. You'll see tonight's show, and we have a link to the Intronis website, or you just go there itself.
It's kind of cool because actually most, if not all, the people in the chat room right now, they actually do IT, either in their spare time or they do it, for a living. So it's very. It doesn't seem, we've been talking about small business all night long, but at the end of the day, most IT professionals either are contracted solo or they work by for themselves. It's a very varied group of people.
Yep.
It is very dynamic, and we really spend a lot of time thinking about their needs and really catering to how we can help them grow their business. And we figure one of the biggest things, the changes that we made over the last couple of years around this move and the shift in the pricing last year is really about aligning their success with our success. And if we do a good job making them successful, then our business will follow, and that's a really great place to be.
Yes, it is. Aaron, again, thank you so much for being with us here on tonight's show. And again, Intronis is the name of the website, and hopefully we'll have you back again.
Great. Yeah,
right.
I really appreciate the opportunity, Craig and Ben, and always a pleasure. And I'm sure our paths will cross very soon.
I'm sure it will too. All right, and take care. And it won't be for data loss, by the way.
Yeah, hope not.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Good night.
All right, goodbye.
Good night.
All right, there you go. Intronis.com. Aaron Dunn, again, Chief Marketing Officer. If you are an IT professional or you're looking to back up your clients' data as part of the services that you do, certainly something that you want to consider, especially small to medium businesses. Intronis has some interesting data plans. Check them out at their website at intronis.com. Okay, coming up in the next hour, what do we have? Oh, Dick DiBartolo.
Yeah, he should be showing up any minute now.
Yeah, he will. Well, coming up. Yeah, exactly. Do we have time to do maybe? Oh, there he is. Speaking of the devil.
Oh, there he is. But again, not till the second hour.
Yes, that's right. But we're going to be talking about some of the things that you'll find on Dick's website, and looking forward to that in the second hour of the show. Do we have time to do a news story? We got anything in the works right now?
News stories. Well, one of our listeners, we were talking a bit about drones in the chat room, and he was kind of mentioning how probably within the next year, and I don't know if this was a prediction or something he read somewhere, but I can't see it being too far wrong. How within the next year you're probably going to need some sort of license or permit to fly a drone. Because nowadays it's just go buy a drone and you can fly it pretty much anywhere where there isn't restricted airspace, and that has been leading to a lot of stories like the one that we found, or at least one that our listener linked to us. Let's see if I can find it here, where an aircraft with people in it was actually almost collided.
Ooh, that's not good.
With a drone. So he actually pulled this from CBS Local News, and apparently it was Virgin Air Flight 769 was on approach to Love Field when a drone flew past it. So and that story, that's just the one that we have. It's not uncommon. Like, we hear about drones being where they're not supposed to be all the time, and it's really only a matter of time before a drone hits a car, a drone hits a plane, and causes some serious injuries. So, if this is our one story for the night, it was going to be that drones are probably going to get an overhaul within the next, year.
Really?
If the FAA has anything to do with it. The FAA, not the FFA. The FFA is actually using them to dust their crops. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we didn't have time to. We only had time for that one story, and
I wish we had more time, because then we would have a true segment for that we could kind of plug Slimmer Utilities for. But
you just did.
yeah, but I know, but we only have like about 4 minutes, so what
All
are you
right,
gonna do?
let me take the time then just to mention our Computer America website. A lot of changes they are coming at computeramerica.com. Hopefully, either Monday or so soon we're going to be making some changes. You can get a sneak peek right now if you go to the show notes page at computeramerica.com. It's a little preview of what the website is going to be looking like. In addition to the show notes there, you can see all the different some of the different features that we're going to be adding to the new website, including the new chat room and some of the new features in the pull-down menu. So you might want to check that out again at computeramerica.com. Also, our contest page is in full swing. I encourage all of you to go to our contests at computeramerica.com. It's under the Interact menu. It says Enter Contests. You'll see the Logitech contest, which is really the big one. We're giving away 3 great prizes from Logitech. The third place prize is the Logitech HD Webcam C310. The second place prize is the Logitech G400 optical gaming mouse, and the grand prize, the Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speaker, valued at $70. The entry form is right on the contest page. You don't have to send an email, nothing special. Just fill out the forms, click the submit button, and your entry is in. The contest will finish Friday, May the 22nd at midnight. Okay, then midnight we close the doors. Over the weekend we'll draw the 3 winning names, and then on that Monday, which is the 25th of May, we will announce the 3 big winners. So head over to computeramerica.com, our contest page. Enter in all of our contests. You're going to have a lot of fun doing so, and who knows, you might win something really, really nice. All right. Dick DeBartolo is coming up here in the next hour. He is queued up and ready to go. The GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, and we're going to actually...
I never had the chance to ask him, what's he so angry about? Why is he the maddest writer?
That's mad is insane, not angry.
Oh, that makes sense.
There you go. All right, you listen to the Computer America Show. We will be right back with the GizWiz. Dick DeBartolo.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at computeramerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And if you're just joining us, we had Intronis on the first hour talking about data recovery services. If you missed that, you can certainly listen to it again, and we archive all of our shows at computeramerica.com. You can see everything there. You can listen to everything and watch everything, as we now also do our live video stream on Computer America.
Yeah, we're going to have to try to help find a happy medium between the two because, still a radio program at heart, so we try to make everything as, sounding as pleasant as possible, but at the same time, there's just so much cool stuff you can do with video, so we're going to have to find our happy medium.
Yes, we will, and I'm sure she's out there somewhere. All right, so...
I won't tell your wife.
Okay. All right, anyhow... as we move forward here, let's introduce our next hour guest. Of course, Dick DeBartolo is known as the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. He is he is just mad about gadgets, and he's here to share some of them with us tonight. He's an official Computer America correspondent who appears here on the show every last Wednesday madness of the month. Dick, welcome into Computer America. How are you, sir? Okay, he's muted, so you need to unmute yourself.
Well, you know what, boy?
What? There you are.
He had it for a second.
Did it?
Yeah, you're there. Okay. No, see the little thing when you click on it, it goes away. Click on it again, and then you'll unmute yourself. There you go. Now you're just.
It still shows a line across. Oh, but earlier it said that you muted me.
Yes, I muted you when you came. It was a little noisy, so I muted.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That was anyway. How are you, Dick?
That's his polite way to say, "Shut up."
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Doing well. And again, if anybody wants to follow along with this now. See, the new thing is that Ben now on his video, you can see everything that Ben is going to be talking about. You will actually have the website in the background, so you can actually.
Oh wow!
You can see that.
Yeah, getting fancy over here.
Yeah, we're getting fancy.
Oh, look at that!
Exactly. Here, what we can actually do is I'll click on it so you can see. There's Ben on the GizWiz. .biz website, and you can go there too, which we suggest that you do. Just go to GizWiz.biz, and when you do, click on the banner that says non-paid lackey fun on Computer America, and then you can follow along with all the things that Dick is going to be talking about on tonight's show. So let's kind of lead off of this again, and the first thing we're going to be talking about is the FASTA pasta.
FASTA pasta is. I went to a pitching event for back-to-school gadgets, and this was one of the gadgets that they were pitching for back to school. And I said, I've seen the infomercials, but I've never used one. She said, "Oh, well, let me send you one so you can try it." So. This is it. It's a plastic container.
Yep.
And the top of the lid has two openings in it. One opening is if you want to make one serving of pasta. The other opening if you want to make two servings of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
But the container is big enough to double that, so you can make 1, 2, 3, or 4 servings of pasta. Mm-hmm. And then on the side of this container is the measurement for how much water to put in. And what's neat about it is you fill it with water. I made 4 servings. You fill it with water. You throw the pasta in. You leave the lid off, and you put it in a microwave, and the average is 15 minutes. So 15 minutes actually worked out perfectly for my microwave. You don't stir it, you don't look at it, you don't do anything to it. When the microwave hits 15 minutes and it dings, you bring the pasta to the sink, the lid goes back on. The lid not only has the pasta measuring lid, but it has colander, a strainer, also built into the lid. If you're rinsing the pasta, you pour cold water through one of the openings, and the hot water runs out through the ridges in the lid, and you can drain and wash the pasta. Yeah. I tell you, I've used it 3 times already in the past 10 days. Wow. It is the easiest way to make pasta.
It's interesting because Star Fortress in the chat room asked the question. She says, "People make pasta in servings?"
As opposed to make jewelry?
No, make it by the ton.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. Whenever I make pasta, it's usually by the box, so it's not really a serving.
Well, yeah. Who does things in servings these days? I don't know. I mean, I'll get a thing of ice cream, and I'll say, "Oh, look, it's only got 150 calories." It says, "Yeah, per serving." There are like 5 servings in there. I've heard there's actually some federal legislature going on that they're going to change that, so they have to. It's per whatever container size you buy it in. That they tell you the amount of calories. So if you're getting a pint or a quart, it's going to tell you how much is the entire unit.
Well, wait a minute, aren't they? I hope they're also going to break it down into servings.
I don't know.
I mean, I would hate to pick up a thing that says 1,700 calories, and then I have to guess that I only want to eat 500 calories worth.
Well, maybe they'll put both on.
Yeah, both would be good.
Yeah, they've been doing it a lot lately where, especially like 20 ounces of Coke, like they'll do like the serving size, which is 8 ounces of Coca-Cola, and then they have the whole 20-ounce bottle, and like they'll have them side by side.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, or they'll say they'll give you a can of Coke and they'll tell you per serving, and there's 1.5 servings. No, just tell me what's in the can,
No, they're doing that.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. No, it is annoying when you see 100 calories a serving, and you look on the side, and it's a small package or something, and it says serves 9. You know, it means that each person gets half a cookie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, if you do measure your pasta and don't do it by the ton, the Fasta pasta.
One thing I wanted to ask about this Fasta pasta, which it might be Fasta, so I guess like fast.
I guess it's Fasta pasta. Otherwise, it's going to be Fasta pasta.
Tomato. Anyways, 15 minutes on high or like medium, and it tells you to do it.
On high. In the microwave, I just
Really?
put 15 minutes in and hit it, and it didn't boil over. I looked at it a couple times because I thought, how could this possibly be? And I also made spiral pasta. I wanted to do some shapes to see if it could also do shapes. It somehow there's a little compartment in the bottom, and it's somehow set up that the water boils, and it actually kind of moves the pasta around, and it just works. It just works.
Exactly.
So it's great fun.
I've always wondered about microwaves. Sometimes they say, put it on medium or low. I don't think I've ever really used the medium setting on a microwave.
Well, you know what? Most microwaves today, I think, are about 1,200 watts.
Yeah.
Some of the original microwaves were really puny, like down on the boat, because the marina doesn't have a lot of great lines running to the boats for power. I bought the least powerful microwave I could. I think it's 700 watts.
Wow.
So for that, you'd probably have to do 20 minutes. But my units at home I think are 1,000 and 1,200.
Let's see, 700. That's like, there's a shelf there with the easy bake ovens, and then there's a 700 right next to it.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, I used to have a 400-watt microwave.
Hey, better just put it under a light bulb.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably just have to put on a movie just to pop your popcorn movie for the real movie you want to watch.
Yeah.
Now
Go ahead.
are all these device, the things that we're talking about tonight, were these at a convention, or they happened to?
Well, you know what, they were a lot of the things were shown at the Houseware show in Chicago.
Okay.
But they had a preview in New York City, so I didn't go to the Chicago show. But the second thing, I think is very clever.
I do too.
It's called the Chef's Thumb.
This is like a thimble for cooks.
That's exactly right. It's maybe I wonder if you could get away with using a thimble. I'm not sure. But it comes with inserts, so you get the insert that fits your thumb best. Mm-hmm. Then there's a locking cap that goes over it, and the object is, and then it has little spines on it that actually holds whatever you're slicing. Oh. You put it into the side of the tomato or the onion, and then not only can you slice very close to your thumb, but it'll hold the fruit or vegetable in place. But wait, there's more. There's a little peeler that slides and locks into the bottom of Chef's Thumb, and then you can actually just use the Chef's Thumb to peel vegetables, and that worked very well. So it's a clever little device, and I think it's $14.95.
Yeah.
So if you're one of the people, I think one of the hardest things to cut is not vegetables, bagels. Somehow, when you stand the bagel up and get a big knife, it's like the bagel suddenly veers to the right or the left, and the knife goes sliding off.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble when you do that. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I say be a man, hold the bagel in your hand and just, cut down through it and go through it. And if you feel something...
Hold it in your hand?
A little blood with bagel is not a bad thing.
Oh, my God. Maybe I had a stainless steel glove on.
Exactly. All right, so 2 very interesting items for cooking, pasta and slicing vegetables. And again, you can see them at GizWiz. .biz under the Computer America banner. So we continue on, and again, you can see everything at our, if you're watching the live video stream. Ben is showing the GizWiz.
Or you can hear things.
Aha! Oh yes. Star Wars comes to mind. We just heard
Yes. Yeah.
the latest Star Wars teaser.
There's a strange hum in the background.
And that is my Star Wars barbecue tongs with its own red shield, so you can look like Darth Vader's lightsaber. The second Star Wars trailer came out like 10 days ago, and it got something like 10 million hits in just hours. Yeah. So Star Wars is going to be big. So at the Housewares preview, there's a company doing every kind of Star Wars kitchen gadget. So that was the Star Wars barbecue tongs, and this is...
Oh no.
That is, believe it or not, the R2-D2 pizza cutter. So as you run it across the pizza, you have... I don't have a pizza here. So that's what that is like.
So, wait a minute. You've got a talking pizza cutter.
Yeah, you can see the picture of it on my website. So the actual pizza cutter is supposed to be R2-D2's head.
Yeah.
And then the built-in sound effects are automatically started when you start rolling the pizza cutter. It will automatically make the sounds and stop when you stop cutting the pizza.
Yeah, if you scroll down a little bit, Ben, we can see the pizza cutter. There it is. Okay, there he is.
And that's on Amazon. That's under $18.
And how good a pizza cutter is it actually?
Well, you know what? I don't even know. I've been having too much fun just listening to the sound effects.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I went to ThinkGeek and I got somebody gave me an Starship Enterprise, but it was also a pizza cutter. And it was beautifully made. I've never used it to cut a pizza. It's still in the box, but
yeah, they're just fun. They're just fun.
Exactly.
And then there is the R2-D2 Star Wars kitchen timer, and that's a nicely detailed plastic replica of R2-D2, and you twist his head to set the time, anywhere up to 60 minutes, and his head slowly turns around. He makes no sound effects. He just rings when the time is up.
When I said he has to make some sound effect when the time is
up. Yes. He makes the kind of the standard kitchen timer ring.
That is very cute. So
yeah, I think they're probably going to do well with these, only because Star Wars. They're crazy. It is too crazy. And you know, I'll just... Only because I did a little video of these, and I told this story on the video, and several people emailed me and were so thrilled by the story, so I'll tell it here. So I did the first Star Wars takeoff for Mad Magazine, and about a week after it was on sale, William Gaines got a letter from the attorneys for Star Wars saying this is copyright infringement and you're using our characters and we want the original artwork of the takeoff on our characters and we want 20% of the profits because the satire is 20% of the magazine, and on and on and on. Well, what the lawyers didn't know was 3 days earlier I got a letter, and Mort Drucker got a letter from George Lucas saying there should be Academy Awards for satire because your satire on my movie was so funny. So Gaines, William M. Gaines, the publisher of Mad, took the lawyer's letter and a magic marker and wrote across the letter, "Gee, George liked it." And then he stapled a copy of George's letter to their letter and just sent it back. And of
what
course,
happened?
We never heard again from the
lawyers. Not even an apology, nothing.
No, nothing. They must have been stunned. They must have been stunned.
Oh my gosh, you know. Well, there you go. Thanks for sharing that with us, by the
And it
way.
was fun. It's kind of fun to get back at.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Well, my little tidbit of trivia does not involve me personally, but you were playing with the barbecue tongs and how they
Yes.
made like the sound effect of the actual lightsaber, and it's so iconic. Kids ever since Star Wars came out, they've been doing the vroom, vroom, like they've been doing it with their mouths, and apparently the actors for Star Wars 1, 2, and 3, when they were having lightsaber battles, they actually had to stop production because when they were fighting with the props, they were actually adding their own vroom, vroom, vroom,
Oh,
and,
they were. Oh my gosh.
and they had to stop and be like, guys, we're gonna put in editing. You don't have to do it yourselves.
Oh, how funny. Oh, how funny.
Because who can resist? Especially if you're acting in the movie. Who can resist making that sound?
Oh, that is a riot.
Oh, where'd Greg go?
I think he's trying to create some sound effects.
Oh, he has his iPhone app that has it.
My iPhone, and that too is also licensed by
By Lucas
By
or
Lucas.
Disney, yeah.
Well, I remember when someone actually came out with a lightsaber for the iPhone years ago, and it was great. And then evidently they got wind of it and probably sent them a cease and desist or something. But a few months later, they came out with their own version that had been licensed, officially.
Oh, okay.
So they did watch it. Anyhow.
It seems like Disney this time around is really going hog wild in marketing their products. Like George Lucas might have done one thing, but the marketing with Disney, they've always been good about marketing their products. So I think we're going to see a lot of Star Wars stuff.
I think so too.
Okay, so moving right along, for you skateboard enthusiasts, skateboard they come in all sizes and shapes and everything, and but this next one was just made me kind of sit up and notice this is an amazing thing. This is a skateboard with one wheel.
Yes, and it's called One Wheel.
Right.
And at first I saw it at what was it at? Oh, it was at Pepcom, and I thought at first they were just riding back and forth using their own momentum, and then I realized the one wheel, which is an air-filled 11-inch go-kart racing tire, there is a motor inside the one wheel.
It's motorized.
It's motorized, and it's kind of like a Segway without the handle, because you use it the same way. You drive it by leaning. You go faster by leaning more. You stop it by standing up straight. There are no gears, no belts, no transmission. The only moving part is the wheel itself. There's a lithium-ion phosphate battery inside, and it's very fast charging. She said it was under 30 minutes, and depending on the terrain, you can go 4 to 6 miles on the one charge. The passenger weight's 275 pounds, which is pretty good, and it's expensive. Okay, it's almost $1,500.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, this is
it's pretty amazing. Yes.
Yeah. What I liked about it, one of the things was that there are lights at both ends of it, but those lights act in a very interesting way. Dick, tell us about that.
Yes. If you lean forward to go forward, the front set of LEDs turn white and become your headlights, and the lights in the back blink as your tail light. If you lean your foot the other way, they instantly change. That you now going in the other direction, the red LEDs go off, and your white LEDs acting as the headlight come on, and under your other foot, now those act as your tail lights.
The tail lights are actually, as they're red in color, they become red.
Yes.
And they're like your tail lights, and then if you switch directions, the red ones become white and the white ones become red. So basically, you're always, whatever direction you're moving, the LEDs reflect the direction that you're going in, as with a car, which I think is really, really
yes.
slick.
And also it can show you your way if you're doing it, and they're angled so that someone far away could see the direction you're going, but they also, part of the light is aimed in front of you where you would be moving. And unlike the thing that we talked about, the IO Hawk, which I had found at Toy Fair, which has it has 2 tires but very little tires, even though in the copy it says, we'll do this on flat ground, and if you watch the video on their website, they're riding down hills and they're going over branches and stones, and they're riding along the edge of the beach. As a matter of fact, I called the lady that had told me about it and demonstrated it for me at PepCon. And I said, I just watched your video, and someone is riding it right at the edge of the beach. Is this waterproof? And she says, it's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. And then I said, is the battery removable? And she said, actually, it's not. She said, because we sealed the wheel just because we know people are going to end up going through puddles or being out in the rain. So we didn't want to we just wanted a sealed wheel.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And she said, especially since you can charge in 30 minutes and get a full charge. So, it weighs 25 pounds, so you could, if your office is 4 to 6 miles away or closer, you could ride it to the office, take it up with you.
Now, I gotta ask you this. Is this similar to a Segway? I know Segway has like a little gyroscope in there.
Yes, it is. I believe it does. That it's self-balancing and senses your direction, just like a Segway.
So it's self-balances, so you don't have to worry about that the front is going to dip down too low or back. So it's self-balancing, which I think again is remarkable. Now, how the wheel is wide? It's like about
the wheel. It's a go-kart wheel, so it's 11 inches in diameter. And, off the top of my head, I'm going to say it was like about 3 inches wide.
Maybe even 4 inches.
It could be. It could be. And it's air-filled, so, like I said, the problem with the IO Hawk is they were like very small, very thin wheels. And I thought, boy, if you hit a twig or a stone, it'd be a problem. But as I said, if you watch the video on the company website, which is One Wheel, spelled out ONE wheel.com, you'll see them doing a lot of a guy driving down a stoop step by step on this thing.
Now, how far? What kind of distance? On one charge, how far can you go?
It will depend on the terrain, but 4 to 6 miles an hour.
4 to 6 miles.
Yeah. So obviously you're going to use a lot more if you're going to go uphill. But 4 to 6 miles is a decent range.
Yeah, very decent. And this is just on the first iteration. I'm sure they're going to make more future improvements with it. But again, it depends on how much you weigh. Obviously, up to 275 pounds. And again, and the terrain will certainly affect. But now the charger, is it something you can put in your pocket, or how big is the charger?
I coming to think of it, I did not see the charger, but it was just a regular AC charger, so I don't know how much it weighed.
All right, because you can bring the charger with you, and then
I'm sure you can. Yeah, put it in your backpack.
And then charge it up again. So now. You can't freewheel with it. In other words, the battery has to be charged. I mean, you can't use it to go downhill or something.
I don't know that. I never realized you were such a daredevil.
I know. It's an amazing little thing. I'm really I think it's really slick. I mean, something like this. And again, it's self-powered, so you can literally ride it up a hill. Going uphill.
In the video, yes. I mean, I don't know how steep a hill, but you can. You can do that.
There it is. Okay, and again, it's about $1,500, and it's called One Wheel, and you can go to the website, onewheel.com, or again, just go to GizWiz.biz and click on the Computer America banner, and you can see this for yourself. It's an amazing thing, and you can see a picture of it on if you're watching on a live video stream, you can see it behind Ben there, what it actually looks like. An amazing little device.
And there goes Ben writing on it. Oh, wow, look at
I don't know. I think I'm still partial to scooters.
Oh, okay. Electric scooters?
Yeah.
No, the foot-powered ones, the one that make you look like a dork.
Oh. Okay.
They do have
The only scooter I have is a foot-powered razor. That's about the extent of my outside of boats. That's the only other form of transportation I have.
Could you see riding around this at I mean, let's say you're in a convention hall, and you're going through all the different lanes.
You know what? They were certainly doing it at PepCom, but I probably the convention center wouldn't let you do it.
No, they're no fun.
No.
Well, I mean, you'd look cooler than if you were driving on a Segway.
You know what I would like to own? Do you know about the I-Beam?
No.
The I-Beam, Leo bought one right away. We saw it at CES maybe 2 years ago, possibly 3 CESs ago. So the I-Beam is a two-wheel device that you charge up. It holds your iPad at the top. It has a long kind of a single bar on up, and you put your iPad in it. And the object here is that you would rent one, either own one, but the object is you would rent one from afar at a trade show. And then you would control it. They would give you the address of this, and you could drive it around the convention center. And you will broadcast, your camera will show your face on the top of the screen, and you will see the person as you drive by a booth. And so you can say, show me that, show me this, and it's a way to go to a trade show without ever leaving your desk.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So Leo had one at the studio, and he would just drive it around as a joke to see what his employees were doing. You know, you could drive into someone's office and look at what they're doing and then drive it back out. But the thing is, I thought it was a great idea.
All right, listen, we're at the bottom of the hour here. We got lots more to talk about with Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz. One of the things we've been talking about is something called the Lenovo ThinkPad Stack. It's one of the things we're going to be talking about. Also, a whiteboard where up to 15 people anywhere in the world can control via the internet. Some of the things we're going to be talking about. Also, we're going to talk about Zoomies and the Phantom 3 drone. And also what I really want to talk about is the invisible speaker. This is so amazing, the invisible speaker. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, the IRN Radio Network, the TuneIn Radio Network. Dick DeBartolo continues on with us. We'll be right back. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf's staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
It's what you've been waiting for. Hi, it's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the VTech cordless phone kit with AV doorbell. Now, when you're waiting for a package to arrive, how often do you check to see if it's there yet? How about packages waiting to be picked up? A dog on site may raise a ruckus, but you may endure more interruptions from those false positives than from checking the door now and again. If there is somebody at the door, is it simple delivery with no harm done if you wait a moment or two before responding? Or is there somebody at the door you need to get up and see right now? We put out an editorial call for video doorbells and got in a VTech IS7121 cordless phone system with 2 cordless DECT 6 handsets, an answering system in the base with a very welcome on-off switch, and an audio-video doorbell. The doorbell box has a button and a tone sounder plus a camera with a simple aim setting control, plus 2 infrared emitters for seeing in the dark. If you don't want to run power wiring it to it, then we didn't, you can use PERF AA cells, and it doesn't draw on those until somebody pushes the doorbell button. It grabs an immediate snapshot while sounding a doorbell tone. You get to choose one from a menu on each handset. Shows you the snapshot on the handset and gives you the option of a live 2-way audio, 1-way video intercom feed. The handsets are also nicely featured with talking caller ID, an equalization choice, and a strong set of contemporary convenience features. Bottom line, the VTech 2-handset cordless phone answering system with AV doorbell earns a sitting ovation. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Dick DiBartolo here, finishes out the show tonight with us, and yeah, we're going over all these great gadgets and whatnots that he's found. We just finished up with the one wheel, but now though, I think we're going to move on to this Lenovo ThinkPad Stack.
The stack, exactly. You know, by the way, you look great in that little free. How are you doing that free floating head over my website?
He's always
here. You know, I haven't showed people this yet. Let's see, the webcam, right click, and if I turn it off, green screen.
Oh,
Turn it on, chroma key.
Oh, it's great.
So, you know, it just green screen, and the software I have just takes all the background out, and yeah, you're good to go.
Wow, I have a green screen now. I can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I don't have the software though, just the green screen. Anyway, so the Lenovo Stack, I saw that also at PepCom, and I didn't know what it was, and they explained to me that it's a new concept, mainly for road warriors who carry a lot of gadgets with them, and it's 4 different gadgets that you probably will need if you're a business person. One of them is a 2x2 2-watt Bluetooth speaker with a noise canceling mic. Then there's a power bank with 10,000 milliamps dual port. Then there's a 1 terabyte USB 3.0 hard drive.
Wow.
And then finally, there is a Wi-Fi access point. And the object here is you might need all 4 of them. If you do, they magnetically lock to each other, but there are little contacts that hit each other. So you only have to charge the bottom unit, and the data and the charging current goes through all the units. So you can take 2 of them with you or the 4 of them with you. And they pointed out that it's kind of a new concept for them, and they don't know exactly what more they can add. And I said, you know, you can make a little matching projector that mounted on top. And if you wanted to give a presentation, you could just take the Bluetooth speaker system and the 10,000 milliamp bank, and then lock the projector on top of that. So it's just shipping now. They said soon, early May was the projected ship date. It's $349 for all 4 of them, and they're available individually.
Wow, very.
It's clever. ThinkPad Stack. And what I thought was unique is that normally all you see is a different way to have a cover on a laptop. But this was something just totally new, and I was very happy to see it from Lenovo.
Yeah, this is sort of in line with a little bit with what Intel is doing with their mini PC NUC, where the thing is just a little tiny square thing that it's an entire computer in the box.
And then you just add like a keyboard or whatever you
right.
need. Yeah.
Exactly. And I could see things like this working with that too.
Yeah, absolutely, the perfect use for that.
Interesting stuff. All right, and again, you can watch and see all of this. You can go to GizWiz.biz and then click on the Computer America banner. You can follow along with us, or you can if you're watching the live video stream, you can see Ben and you can see everything that he's behind him, the floating head, which is Ben, and you can see everything there.
And what a head it is.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Exactly. So this next item here now is a whiteboard up to 15 people anywhere in the world can control via the internet. Now, whiteboard, for those of you who is basically like a blackboard, but you use a special kind of marker, so you can you can use different colors, and it's used for presentations or in meetings for discussions. But that's always on one-on-one. This takes it into the Internet of Things, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's from Epson, and they have several models of BrightLink. The series is called BrightLink, and this is the BrightLink Pro 1430 and 1420, and this has added several things to it. So it transforms any flat surface, a wall, into a whiteboard, or if you have a whiteboard, you can install this over the whiteboard.
Wow.
What's amazing about it is it has an incredibly short throw. So I drew on it, with a stylus, you can draw anything, punch the color and then draw in that color. But your shadow, there's no shadow on what you're drawing because the throw is so short, so up against the wall that you don't block any light and cast a shadow. But the neat thing is you give people the Wi-Fi network that it's on, or the internet networks that it's on, and up to 15 people, no matter where they are, can join the whiteboarding session from any mobile device or a web browser or computer or another BrightLink Pro, and you can and you have permission, so you can say you and you can alter this drawing if you want. So they can alter it as they wish. And then what's also neat is it doesn't need a computer, but if it's hooked to a computer, you can then push a button and you can send everybody a copy of it.
That's nice.
Because normally when somebody uses a whiteboard, at the end of the session, a manual whiteboard, everybody gets up with their smartphone and they're filming this and they're filming that, and they want to make sure they don't miss this and this. And the other advantage is you can add up to 50 blank pages, so that instead of worrying with a whiteboard where you're really using pages, here you virtually just keep adding pages for pretty much unlimited writing space. Now, this is again for a business. On Amazon, it's about $2,600, but and the screen is up to 100 inches, very bright. So for a business where you have to have meetings, here's a great way where people don't have to come into the conference room or even leave their home. You can discuss the whole plan on this whiteboard, and everybody, no matter where they are, up to 15 people, can watch and make changes.
That's truly amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Very.
Well, I guess even if you're, going to school for some reason across the other side of the world, you still now have to go up to the whiteboard to solve the math problem. That's scary.
Yeah.
The teachers are coming for you.
Yeah.
Dick, I got to tell you, you have so many stories. I hope you don't mind if I skip down to a couple here.
Do.
Because I want to try to fit as many of these as I can in here. And one of the things I thought was absolutely amazing, and I watched the video, is the the Clio invisible speaker. I've been teasing about this. This is an amazing device.
This was from, these are I have 3 gadgets from the Luxury Technology Show, and this show is just once a year, but I love it because it's stuff you never saw before. Last year, that's where I found the airplane. I don't know if you remember the airplane where when the parachute comes out, the parachute is big enough to land the entire airplane.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was from last year's Luxury Technology Show. So this is called the Clio Invisible Speaker. And when I was reading through the exhibitors that were going to be there, I immediately said, I have to see the invisible speaker. I was worried that I'd go in and not know where, and did I see it already? Have I walked by it? Well, it's not totally invisible. You do see the base, but the base, it's very a very nicely designed metal base, but the speaker itself is a piece of acrylic that has a slight bend to it. It's totally clear, very thin. It's a Bluetooth speaker, and they call it edge motion technology because the whole acrylic panel sounds like it is playing. So it's very hard to hear exactly where the music's coming from. The music comes from the front and the back. They call it a 360-degree sound experience. But it's pretty nifty. It's very different looking. It was very hard to, I mean, it sounded good, but I was in a big exhibition hall with a lot of other, things making noise. It sounded good. There's also a bass speaker in the bass because I guess the acrylic shield can't do the real low notes. Right. The price point is a little high. It's $349, and the reason I say it's a little bit high is because when you get into that price point, you can get some really dynamite sounding Bluetooth speakers. But as far as a fashion statement or a decorated statement, this is really something different.
Very different. I actually watched the video, and I thought it was kind of amusing that the couple with the sharing glasses of wine while the invisible speaker was inside the house, and then but still, I mean, I get the point. I mean, the point is it's a conversation piece.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think that it might not be a bleeding edge audio files, but it's sort of like up there with a Bang & Olufsen equipment. I mean,
yes,
the looks can be just as important as the sound, and I think that's what's happening here. It's very futuristic looking. And you kind of wonder, how the sound comes, how it works. But evidently the whole panel vibrates, right?
Exactly.
And acts as the diaphragm, which would be the diaphragm of a speaker, is actually this transparent piece of acrylic.
Yeah, it's very clever. Very clever.
And as you said, the speakers that use this similar technology in it, they can't really produce the bass sound. They're great for the mid and upper. So they put a bass or subwoofer in the base of the unit.
In the base of the unit itself.
Which carries that as well.
Yeah.
So and again, $349 is a little pricey, but if you want something different, certainly. Now, is it a stereo speaker, or is it? I couldn't really tell if it was.
You know what? I'm gonna say. I don't know. Okay, they call it 360 sound, so I don't know, to tell you the truth. The thing is, it's only maybe 12 inches across, so even if it is stereo, it's not going to be dynamite separation that you're going to hear.
No.
My guess is it's going to be more for. I don't think you're going to sit the family down in front of it and play symphonies.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be the kind of thing that you're going to have on when you have company, and they're going to go, "Oh, where's that music coming from?" It sounds great.
Very good. All right, then going back up, I want to talk a little bit about something called Zoomies.
Zoomies are so funny because they are, in theory, binoculars that you wear. and you put them on, and then there's a little knob on each side that you dial them so that you can see what you want to see, as if you were holding binoculars, but you don't hold anything. And they say that you can see 300 to 400% closer, which is in reality 3 or 4 times closer. The problem is they are badly made. I bought 2 pair. I usually buy 2 pair of everything because it's kind of guaranteed one of them is not going to work. And on this one, 1 pair, 1 knob really didn't turn and the other knob did, and so it just totally distorted your vision. It almost looked like you could look around corners. So it was, and I think they were $10. So
Really?
it was an experiment that was fun, but I think kids, if both knobs worked, I think kids would think they're great fun. So I think you'd get enough entertainment value out of them that way. But outside of that, I would not run out and buy them.
Got it. All right. Well, listen. Now, obviously, drones are in the news, and this next one, this DJI, they introduced the Phantom 3 with a 4K camera.
Yeah, this was amazing. So it was an introduction in the city. Unfortunately, I went down to the event hoping that they were going to be kind of outdoors or have a yard or something where we could run around and fly them, but they didn't. Yeah. So this is a 4K camera, which comes with it. And it's very funny because a lot of times at a press event, they announce the price, and there's like a, you know, because they just said $9,000. Oh. But when they said the 4K unit will be $1,259, there was like a gasp, but a gasp because everybody was shooting much higher in their minds. They also make a 1080p model that is going to be under $1,999, and they have some, and this is almost scary. They have indoor flying mode. So they have, in one of the videos, they have someone flying over the bride and groom, video recording the wedding. But I'm thinking, I'm pretty bad at flying drones outdoors. I don't want to be flying one indoors, but in theory, and the real reason I want to see it is that they're supposed to have like an amateur mode where you can almost do nothing wrong. So that would be something that I would be interested in. But again, a 4K camera in a drone for under $1,300, and this company is very big into drones, so they know what they're doing. They have great video on their website, and rather an impressive press event. They had 3 drones flying, like one in Singapore and one in Hollywood, all sending back live video directly from the drone.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat.
Very
pretty
neat.
Yeah.
And again, and it looks like it's got 3, one in each corner, or it looks like it's got 3 blades.
It's a quadcopter, so you can't see the 4th one.
Yeah, exactly, a quadcopter. All right, and then for the luxury minded, I think we can fit this one more in. This is you saw this at the International Auto Show in New York. The American Coach, American Eagle.
The American. This was actually at the car show. So in all my years in New York City, I've never ever owned a car. I've owned 26 boats, never a car. But now I go to the auto show because outside they always have maybe just 1 or 2 RVs. So they had one from American Coach, a 45-foot long RV motorhome with LED TVs, in-motion satellite TV. Security system with a security monitor up over the driver's head, so he could see all the cameras everywhere. When you park, well, I was going to say when you dock it. When you park it, you can hit these hydraulic switches and the bedroom, one wall moves out 30 inches. So now you have a full-size bed, remote control massage bed. Each half of the bed has its own remote control. Induction cook range in the galley. Let's see. He said the bathrooms are called bathrooms, not heads, but the kitchen is a galley, even though it's an RV. This was one beautiful machine, and it was $700,000.
Oh my gosh!
I know. But the fun thing was, I said to the guy, "And what does this cost?" And he said, "What's the base price?" $695,000. I said, but what does it cost the way I saw it? He said, $699,500. I said, what? He said, well, pretty much everything that we have in here is part of the motorhome. And also, each set of walls can move out. So you can end up with 450 square feet when you park and move the walls out. So that is pretty much what a New York City apartment is.
Wow, that is amazing.
It was beautiful, really beautiful.
Of course, we didn't have time to get to everything because I want to talk to Dick a little bit of what he's doing. But again, you can see all these really things and more at GizWiz.biz, and just click the Computer America banner, or just watch. Just go to GizWiz.biz and you can see everything that Dick talks about. And I understand that you sent me an email that you're going to be doing something new.
Some changes at TWiT. Leo Laporte's network. I've been doing the GizWiz there for 8.5 years, and Leo left the GizWiz about a year ago because he was just doing too many shows. And then I have a new host, OMG Chad, and Chad has moved to LA, and so Leo said, why don't you guys take the show with you? And I had never heard of Patreon. Do you know about Patreon?
No, I have not heard, no.
Okay. Patreon is a service. It's like Kickstarter for podcasters. You can take shows and put them on Patreon. People can continue watching them for free, or if they like the show, they could pledge $1 to see a show. And so Leo said, you know what? OMG Chad already does a different show there, and I think he has 155,000 monthly downloads. He knows all about this, and he said, take the themes with you. I'll plug it like crazy here on TWiT. And then in the meantime, he's bringing back the screensavers. I don't know if you ever knew.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, Tech TV.
Yeah.
And so he's bringing back the screensavers. Going to do it like the original, so I'm going to be on that because I would show weird gadgets on screensavers every couple of weeks. So I'm going to continue with Tech Guy Radio with Leo and screensavers, but we'll be doing GizWiz starting next week on. So you'll be able to see everything now at GizWiz.tv. So my website's the same, but the new video website is GizWiz.tv.
Well, a lot of exciting things happening for you, Dick. And,
this whole everything is so amazing now. What you can do. I mean, like now that you can see my website on when you do Computer America. I love the fact that Ben's head it's still floating. And the funny thing is he has no body. When he stands up, it's just that he just has a head.
He just has it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like in the past year, we went from radio to. You don't put out a video version, right?
We're planning to. We're going to be doing VoiceAmerica.tv, and so we'll be bringing this to their network as well.
And then all of our videos are archived separately, anyways.
Yeah, and they're separately archived as well, so people can watch any of our videos. Tell me quickly what's happening with Mad Magazine.
Mad Magazine, we had a great thing last Monday. We had our first guest editor ever, which was Weird Al Yankovic, and we had a big thing at a local Barnes and Noble with Al and a lot of the usual gang of idiots signing the issue that just came out this week. And I'm now working on a takeoff on Pocket Hose. You know Pocket Hose?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm doing the pocket hose satire, which will be in the next edition. And I'm still doing World News Now on ABC.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, and my wife keeps seeing you. She says, "Oh, look, there's Dick."
Yeah, good. Great.
He's catching you. Well, Dick, listen, as always, a pleasure having you here with us on the Computer America show, and we'll have you back next month
Yep.
on the program as well. And
I'll be back with gadgets from the National Hardware Show. I'm going out there next week.
oh, lucky guy. And then and again, you'll be on with us May 27th, which will be the next time that you appear on the Computer America show. Well, stick with us to the end as we finish up here. Again, thanks so much for all of you being with us here tonight. What do we got? We got coming up tomorrow night. We're going to have two guests on the program. The first guest is going to be a company called Rivets, R-I-V-E-T-Z. They talk about secured interaction. Basically, they make it simple to connect web services to trusted hardware in phones, tablets, and PCs. Basically, it's a security issue when you that you can get. They talk about device identity, encryption, trusted displays, even secure Bitcoin transactions. They handle all of that, and we're going to have the company
90 seconds.
We'll have them on the show, and then in the second hour, a company called Neurometrics. They make a product called Quell. This is wearable pain relief technology. It's similar to the 10 system, but they're taking it to the next level and interfacing relief from chronic pain, such as diabetic neuropathy, and all these things. They're using these technological devices with smart devices, like with
Very cool.
So we're going to have them on the show. Again, thanks to our guests for being on the program, and thanks again to Dick DiBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. What's his name in the chat room? I want to know what he was mad about. We still don't know.
Maddest, apparently not iratist. So
Exactly.
All right, so that about wraps it up. Thank you all for being here, and we'll be here same time, same station, same location. We'll see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, thank you again for being with us here tonight on Computer America. We look forward to having you on tomorrow night's show. And again, thanks to Dick DiBartolo for being here with us, and we'll see you next month, Dick. Okay?
Very good. Okay, bye, chat room.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Okay, bye.